It is time because it is sicko season, and we are indeed sick people. A 2026 NFL mock draft, the way too early edition. Before you get mad at me, this is based on the reverse Super Bowl odds, various tiebreakers broken by win totals and whatnot. So don't get mad at me. Get mad at Vegas for hating on your team. We will also, at the end, 2 second-round picks for the Jags and Falcons because you guys deserve draft love too, even with no first-round pick for either team. I also did not include Arch Manning in this mock draft. And there is a good possibility he ends up turning pro. He also might not. And if you believe what the Mannings have said, the plan is to go back to school. He's only started a few games in his career. He has not played much. When he's played, it's been pretty solid. Hasn't been against, outside of the half against Georgia, that was just kind of a weird situation. There's a lot to like about Arch Manning's film. And I think if he wins the Heisman, Texas wins the national championship, and a team he's down to go to gets that number 1 overall pick, then I think he can turn pro. But for this mock draft, we won't put him in there. But it would not be a surprise to me either way. So predictions, with the whole season to go, and a lot of projection left for all of these players. It is a full year of college football. There's a lot of things that can and will change. Will Arch Manning turn pro? Y for yes, N for no. Several QBs we'll discuss. I think they've all got decent shots of being number one, at least most of them do. I'm going to put Drew Allar on here. And not because I am in love with him as a prospect. I think he's some superstar player. I get why the NFL is, I think, pretty high on him. I think had Drew Allar gone pro, we would have spent a lot of time talking about, like, hey, is Drew Allar going to be the number 2 pick to the Cleveland Browns, or are the Giants going to take him? Like, I don't know if he would have gotten outside the top 3. Because the stuff he does, the stuff flashes he has shown, the NFL likes that kind of stuff. I need to see more growth as a consistent passer, especially in those biggest moments. But the arm and the size and the traits are certainly all there. Number 2, Garrett Nussmeier, out of LSU. This is kind of funny for me because this is what I told our Saints Now host Trace was going to happen the day they hired Kellen Moore. It was going to be, okay, you're going to hire Doug Nussmeier as the OC. You're going to tank for a year and draft his kid, Garrett Nussmeier, which has happened so far. LSU boy gets to stay in New Orleans. By the way, of note, if the Browns are picking 1, the Saints are picking 2, you need to take QBs because that means your current QBs were bad, including Shadur and Tyler Shock. All right, Tennessee at 3. Let's go TJ Parker. You'll see a lot of Clemson players on this list. That team should be really good this year. Parker as an edge rusher, I am very intrigued by. And I think long-term, adding a piece there for Tennessee makes plenty of sense. They just took a QB at number 1, so they're not going to take 1 at 3. Jets at 4. LaNorris Sellers might have the best ceiling of the non-Arch Manning QBs this year. There's even like a bit more polished Anthony Richardson to his game. I still need to see a lot more consistency. That's for all the QBs this year. There's scenarios which they're like, yeah, this guy's bad. He ends up taking a step backwards. He does not go in round 1. Sellers has size, mobility, arm strength. Just be a bit more consistent. And number 1 pick is in play for him. So, way too early version, entire year to go of football, maybe 2 years for some of these guys. Who is your early QB1 for the 2026 NFL Draft? You can say Arch. It's the pinned comment, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Let's go to the Giants at number 5. Spencer Fano played right tackle for Utah, so I like that fit for the Giants more than like a Caden Proctor who we will get to. Protect your hopeful franchise guy, Jackson Dart, but if you're picking 5, that means Brian Dable might have gotten fired. There's the downside there. Peter Woods, defensive tackle from Clemson. I almost put him at 3 to Tennessee. I think you could flip these guys if you wanted to. Played some edge for Clemson last year. I think gets to play at his natural spot at defensive tackle this upcoming season. He's an awesome player. Caleb Downs from Ohio State, actually my favorite guy right now. It's just how early can a safety go? Like that positional value does kind of get impacted when I got trench players and quarterbacks in the first 6 picks. But I think if anyone knows good safety play, it's Pete Carroll, right? Right? The Browns is picked from Jacksonville, by the way. You take the QB earlier, now solidify your left side of the offensive line, Caden Proctor. Still a bit inconsistent, but the size, the movement skills, I think the battling through injury and still playing well stuff, he could easily be a top 5 pick. If Indy's picking 5, it probably means the Anthony Richardson experience is over. I think Cade Klubnik is a little bit underrated. I think he's gonna I was very impressed by his play down the stretch. seemed like it all kind of began to click into place there. I don't know what the front office looks like, the head coach looks like in Indy if they're picking number 9 overall, but I do think Klubnik has a chance to be QB1 in this class. Seattle takes Ramad McCoy out of Tennessee. Reek Woolen is a free agent, may or may not be back. Kind of want another cornerback there anyway in Seattle, or in addition to, I should say, in Seattle. And I think early vibe is probably the favorite for CB1, but that is by no means set in stone. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. Cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your last chance to add your favorite players from the court to your Prize Picks lineup. Whether it's points, boards, assists, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win 2,000 times your cash today. Turn those playoff hot takes and tickets to basketball's championship series. Starting with the play-in round, every lineup you make on Prize Picks will enter you in the Takes 2 Tickets sweepstakes, which gets you and a +1 into the VIP trip to the ship. They've also got season-long football Prize Picks slates. Cowboys don't have a wide receiver 2. More on that in a second for this mock draft, by the way. Breece Hall might not be as involved in the running game with the rotation and Justin Fields getting carries there. And Dak Prescott, if he's healthy, will get to at least 24 TDs. I like the flex play. That way, if I get one wrong, I still come out on top. You can get a pick wrong and still double up to your money with Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play that first $5 lineup. I am a big fan of Anthony Hill Jr.'s game out of Texas. This is a 3-phase player, run support, pass coverage, pass rush ability. He's not Micah Parsons, but I think, some of the elite level play of just being able to cover and run support and blitz some is really impressive. I love his fit for a Mike Vrabel-led defense. Avion Terrell, that is, by the way, A.J. Terrell's younger brother. Not as big, so it is in many ways the little brother here. Miami, we'll see about Jalen Ramsey long term. Even with him, they need cornerback help, so this one is kind of an easy fit for me. The Rams at 13. Thought about QB. I'll hold off on it, even though we will do the whole Matthew Stafford thing again next offseason. This pick from the Falcons, how about Isaiah World? This is the Nevada transfer who's got some big fans, I think, around college football. Big projection here, but I think he has the traits NFL teams love. He plays well at Oregon, he'll get round 1 buzz. Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. He was the number 3 wide receiver last year for the Ohio State Buckeyes, behind Emeka Egbuka, the first-round pick. Jeremiah Smith, the future first-round pick. Despite being the number 3, he put up 733 yards. He is a former 5-star. In general, this wide receiver class, it needs some breakouts. Otherwise, it's a little bit shaky. Francis Mauigoa out of Miami, whose brother was drafted by the Jets as a linebacker. This is the little brother, but bigger in this case. I think we'll see about Jonah Williams long term. I think you can play right tackle. Some slight buzz about guard is a possibility there. Offensive line help if you're going defense heavy for Arizona makes sense to me. Pittsburgh 16, better go find your QB. How about Fernando Mendoza? That is the Cal quarterback who played pretty well this year when Cal was having some fun early in the season. Transferred to Indiana. Not a household name necessarily. Some of the, I call them fellow nerds who like the study the QB film going in. I've heard a lot of good buzz about Mendoza. So I'll put a little flyer on him here at 16 overall. How many QBs go in round 1 of the 2026 NFL Draft? I got a bunch in this one. Give me your predictions in the comments of today's show. Jeremiah Love at Notre Dame. Ben Johnson's going, this is my Jahmyr Gibbs. Explosive running back, not the biggest running back. Got to stay healthy this upcoming season, but I love his game. He, to me, is the clear RB1 in this class, early version. Dylan Thieneman, who transferred from Purdue to Oregon, I think is going to get a lot of buzz this season. In general, I think the safety class has some really good talent, not just Caleb Downs. The edges just kind of fell in this mock draft. I didn't intend for that, but I pushed a bunch of QBs up, so that's how it goes. Keldrick Falk, really big frame, good size, is a different type of passer than what Denver has. Denver's kind of a lot of speed players. This would be a good fit for them. A lot of people mocked, including me, Jahad Campbell to Tampa. Well, he went to Philadelphia. How about C.J. Allen, the Georgia linebacker? Should be primed for a big season to showcase some good run stopping as well. Chargers go get a corner. Malik Muhammad out of Texas, now in line to be CB1 with Jahdae Barron gone. Fills a need there. I've heard some good buzz from the NFL on LT Overton, the former A&M transfer to Alabama. Showcased some good stuff down the stretch. Has to finish better, but I think the Texans could use a top-end interior defensive line presence. Austin Barber out of Florida. Say what you want about Florida's coaching staff. I do think they do a good job of offensive line. That's kind of been a trait of Billy Napier going back to his time at Louisiana. I think it's a pretty good schematic fit. And the Niners need help on the offensive line at some point, right? We will have more NFL Draft YouTube videos for you year-round. It's sicko season, draft season never stops. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. We'll see about Jair Alexander long-term. Jalen Kilgore, I almost went with some other SEC corners. There's some good ones kind of in this range. We'll mention DJ McKinney later too, but Damani Jack's kind of have a big-time year. But I think Kilgore brings the athletic traits the Packers tend to covet. Big boy in the middle for the Bengals at 25. Caleb Banks has the size that NFL teams like, and Bengals got to keep throwing assets to that defensive line. Ruben Bain, if we come back in 300 days, he might look really low on this. He was great in 2024, but was banged up a lot. Or in 2023, was banged up a lot in 2024. I think will be healthy this year, and I think could be a real riser. Rams get a corner, A.J. Harris. I think it's a need for them, and those Penn State guys almost always test great athletically, don't they? I'll shoot my shot at tight end here. Travis Kelce is actually out of a contract after this year. This might be it. And they've spent some, late day 2, early day 3 picks. I think Max Clare going from Purdue to Ohio State, as long as the quarterback play isn't terrible, is going to put up big-time numbers, big-time production. I think he's got a chance to be tight end 1 in this class. Danny Dennis Sutton out of Penn State goes 29 here. I think this is a speedy edge. It's not Abdul Carter. It's not Micah Parsons, but he still almost put up double-digit sacks. He should be primed for a big year. I'll throw another receiver to Buffalo, because why not? Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State, maybe as a long-term better piece than Joshua Palmer. We would spend more time on Tyson if he wasn't hurt for the CFP. I think he would have made a pretty big name for himself there. Out of Oregon, Mateo Uyunglele. Yes, that is DJU's younger brother. Again, the edges just kind of fell. I think they'll probably end up going earlier than this. Unlike his brother, this will be an early round NFL draft pick. And then I couldn't resist putting a Georgia defensive tackle to Philadelphia at 32. Right? Would that surprise anybody? I think Christian Miller, with a lot of personnel losses up front for Georgia, is primed for a massive breakout season. Jags and Falcons fans, I got you covered 40 and 45. Throw in Deontay Lawson out of Alabama. Maybe that's not, I'm not sure what this new regime wants yet in terms of their overall archetype, but veteran, heady football player, got to stay healthy. Mansour Delane is the Virginia Tech transfer, now at LSU. Don't sleep on that name either. A lot of names I did not get to. I'm going to mention 11 more actually here. Who did I leave off of my 2026 NFL mock draft? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Some other names. I think Nick Singleton is the next best back out of Penn State. Katron Allen also is a good name too. Both Andersons at LSU, Nick and Aaron. LSU low-key has 3, maybe 4 guys that could have massive breakout years and become round 1 picks at wide receiver. It wouldn't surprise me. Evan Stewart is talented, but has to actually put it together. Big chance for him this year. Denzel Boston is a good player at Washington. Jake Slaughter would have been one of the top centers had he gone pro last year. David Bailey transferred from Stanford to Texas Tech. Don't sleep on him. Sontaran Perkins is kind of undersized, but really productive at Ole Miss. Harold Perkins Jr. had that great freshman year, and then just they still kind of stuck of being a tweener. Is he an off-ball linebacker? Is he an edge? He's kind of stuck in between, now coming off injury. Seen some love for DJ McKinney. Life could be different for him this year with no Travis Hunter. Kamari Ramsey, part of a good safety class. Could have been a top 50 pick, top 75 pick had he turned pro.